Tamer Qadri, and this video is about the document called the I-94. If you are a non-immigrant with a visa, that means if you are coming to the United States to work or to study or to teach or to visit a friend or a family member, and you are traveling by air, land, or sea, you will be given two forms to fill out on your way into the United States. Most of you will be traveling by air, so when your airplane gets closer to Chicago or New York or wherever it is that you are landing, you will be given a couple of forms. One of them is blue and the other is white, and this video is about the white form, the I-94. The I-94 is the arrival and departure record, and it's an important form. It records when you arrive, how you arrive, what your status is in the United States, and you will use it for several things, and you'll need it when you leave. And we're going to skip all the text, and we're going to talk about what you need to write on the form. So you don't have to write anything here, but you do have to start with number 1, family name. The family name is your second name or your second names. Sometimes you may have more than one family name. It may be 2 parts. It can also be your last name. Look in your passport and use the family name or the last name that is listed inside your passport, and you will write 1 letter in every space. Your first or given name is just your name as a person, just your single name. Your birth date here would be day, month, and year. In the US, it's usually month first, and then day, and then year. But immigration understands that in the rest of the world it is day, month, and year, so you will write the numbers in here. If you were born on July 17, it would be 1707. So what that means is if it's a single digit, like 7 or 6, you would put a 0 in front of it. Don't just write 7 here, put a 0 and then the 7. If you were born on the first of the month, you would put a 0 here and a 1 here. And for the year, you would put the last 2 numbers in the year. So if you were born in 1960, you would put a 6 and a 0. Country of citizenship, you would list the country that is listed in the passport that you are using to travel. If you are a dual citizen, that means you have citizenship for more than one country, use the citizenship that is listed in your passport, the one that you are using with you today to travel. Or maybe the one that has your visa inside, if you actually brought both of your passports with you. Here you would put male or female if you're a man or a woman. And number 6, you would put your passport number, and this is, you would always use your active passport number. So if you have an old expired passport that has a visa in it, that is not the number you want to use. You want to put the number for the new passport that you have. Airline and flight number, you can ask someone on your airplane what the airline and flight number is. If you do not know, it will usually be 2 or 3 letters and then 3 or 4 numbers after. Country where you live, this is the country that you live in. It's not necessarily your country of citizenship. So if you are a citizen of Senegal and you live in Tunisia, you would write Tunisia in here. City where you boarded, that means what city were you in when you got on this airplane. And if you got on this airplane in Germany, then you would write Germany here. Number 10 is city where visa was issued. Look at your visa. Look at your immigration visa, the visa that you have in your passport, and see what city it says on the visa. And that is the city where your visa was issued. There's also a date on there on the visa, and you will want to put that date in number 11. Address while in the United States. If you have a hotel and you know that you're going to be staying there till you find an apartment, then this is the address that you use. If you will be staying with a friend, that is the address that you will use. Even if you will be moving later, that is not a problem. Put the address that you're going to go and stay at when you arrive in the US. And you'll put a number, followed by a space, followed by the name of the street. Here, city and state, you would write the city, you would leave a space, then you would put the state. For example, the city could be Brattleboro, the state could be Vermont, and you would leave a space and you would put Vermont over here. There's some stuff written down here. It's of no concern to you as far as this video is concerned. Here, this is actually the bottom part of the I-94. The I-94 is a long document. This is the bottom half of it, and this portion is important because this portion will remain with you once you leave the airport. It's going to be inside your passport. So print carefully and legibly. That means use good handwriting when you're writing. Again, you have your family name, your first or given name, your birth date, and your country of citizenship. And again, this is the country listed in your passport. So, for example, if you are a Palestinian, but your passport says West Bank, then you would write West Bank in here. That would be your country of citizenship as far as immigration is concerned. And this is the end of what you're going to be writing on the I-94 form. There is another side, and this is the other side of the I-94 form here. But you don't have to be concerned about this because you will not be writing anything on here. Immigration will be writing stuff on here. And this bottom portion here, this bottom half is going to be with you in your passport. And we'll look at the front and back of an I-94 as it is in the passport after you leave the airport. So here we see a sample I-94 card after having been processed by immigration when you leave the airport or your port of entry. This is what's going to be left of your I-94 card, and this is the front side. It's stapled to your passport. There's a stamp. There's a date in the stamp. It will show the type of visa that you used to enter the country, and this is now your status. So this person is on L1 status, and their status is valid until September 17, 2007. Their name is down here, and this is their birth date, and this is when the stamp was issued. And this really signifies what their status is in their country. If you are an F1 student or an F2 or F4 dependent, instead of seeing a date over here, you will usually see the letters D and S, which stand for duration of status. That means as long as your I-20 is valid and as long as you're abiding by all the laws and regulations, you are in status. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful, and I'll talk to you later.